It's decision time, playoff atmosphere, Game 10, the final. The divisional weekend kicked off in electrifying fashion, with city rivalries and absolute dominance on the field. And if the Seahawks sent a real message to the rest of the league, it was by steamrolling the 49ers in a historic NFL West Classic. Suffocating defense, a dominant ground game, and a performance that made it clear when January comes, execution and physicality make all the difference. And that's what we're going to talk about now. Analysis, behind the scenes, and everything this great game reveals.
We'll show you how and why. All coming your way. It's game day final time. It is time for Game Day Final, presented to you by Mercedes-Benz. Divisional weekend off to a raucous start. Saturday night, all right, in Seattle. League's leading receiver, JSN, catches the only touchdown of the night from Sam Darnold. A hat trick for that man, Kenneth Walker III. 41-6, the Seahawks upend their NFC West rival, the San Francisco 49ers. So with that, we welcome you to Game Day Final, presented to you by Mercedes-Benz. I am Chris Rose, joined by Super Bowl champion Michael Robinson. This, of course, the M-Rob Bowl, the team that drafted you against the team where you won your jewelry with. Whew!
It was
What
awesome.
did we see?
Chris, I did a live during the game.
A live what?
A live, live
on
on
IG?
Instagram. Yeah,
Okay.
with Beast Mode, Deshaun Golston, and some other 49ers guys, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Just all the smack talking back and forth. This was an old school NFC West game, and I love to see it. You see the Seahawks? You know the Seahawks was number one seed. You do know that, right?
That's
you know
what I
the
heard.
previous times the Seahawks was number one seed. You know what happened?
3 times before this
3 Super Bowl
appearances. Yeah.
God almighty, Chris!
Now
you see that
60 minutes.
defense?
I did.
Oh.
I did. Rarely would I ever say that a game is over after 13 seconds, because it's just not fair.
It was, though. You see Shaheed? Did you see him?
I did.
He went to the Pro Bowl, too. Oh, John
Opening
Snyder.
kickoff.
John Snyder, great job, bro. I mean, look at this. The best thing about a kick returner is that he trusts his blocking and runs as fast as he can to the end zone. That's exactly what Rashid Shaheed did. Great blocking, a great start to this game, and what it did was it put the Niners on notice. It put the Niners on notice that, yeah, this is going to be a very long game. Love to see it.
I love the slide tackle attempt by Niners kicker Eddie Pinheiro. I thought he was going to get a red card. If this was the World Cup in about 5 months, he'd probably be out of here. Yeah, because it totally set the tone. I mean, the Niners last week, let's remember what they did when they went on the road against Philadelphia, against a tough, hard-nosed defense led by Vic Fangio, excellent defensive coordinator. They laid 23 points on them, well over 350 yards as well. They could not do anything for the second straight game against Mike McDonald's defense. What has made... They're different than your Legion of Boom.
They are.
But what has made them so elite?
Not only do they have elite players, Chris, so like a Leonard Williams, I don't think he can be blocked one-on-one.
Right.
Right? He's an elite player. But when you mix elite players with a play caller and Coach Mike McDonald that attacks offenses' blocking schemes. He attacks them. He designs blitzes. He designs schemes. He designs gap control to literally attack the weakness of an offense. Now, usually we're accustomed to seeing a Kyle Shanahan or offensive play caller do that to defense. And to me, that's the secret sauce with this Seahawks defense. And on top of that, over the last couple of years, I got to give love to a good friend of mine, John Schneider. They have drafted well. They've drafted well, and they've developed the guys that they've drafted. So kudos to the Seahawks. I know it was loud in that place tonight, man. Wish I was there. But a great game.
Well, I think defensively, listen, there's so many job openings out there for head coaches. Everybody says we got to get the next offensive genius guru out there. There's going to be some people that are probably squarely focused on Jesse Minter, right? Chargers defensive coordinator who worked under McDonald in Baltimore the whole bit, has done very well because now they're seeing the blueprint that this guy brings out to Seattle. And you talk about the pairing with John Schneider and the ability to draft and develop. And all of a sudden, what they have done to Kyle Shanahan, one of the masterminds offensively in this game, the last 2 games, Week 18 in San Francisco, and now here in the divisional round, 8 quarters played, 9 total points. That's virtually unheard of.
It is virtually unheard of, especially with a Kyle Shanahan-led offense. But I will say this, and again, I spent the summer with the Seahawks, helping them in scouting and doing some things.
Oh, so because this is your doing. You're part of it. Sorry, your point was what?
But, I was there. I saw some stuff. And what I saw from Coach Mike McDonald was the growth from him from year 1 to year 2, Chris, was phenomenal. You got to think a 30-something-year-old head coach, late 30-something-year-old head coach, was in banking before, decided to switch careers and be a football coach, right? Was in Michigan, was in Baltimore, and he got this head coaching job opportunity. And really, you don't know what you don't know. And going into this year, he had a plan for how he wanted the messaging to be. He had a plan for how he wanted the branding to be. He had a plan for how he wanted each practice to be and how he put his stamp on this team. And to see, after he put his stamp on this team, to see him having the success, man, is definitely a joy to see.
Well, there were a lot of people that were wondering how the move was going to be when they traded Geno Smith to the Raiders and brought in Sam Darnold on that $100 million contract. And look, second straight regular season, he played great. Oh, now we get to his bugaboo, right? Crunch time. Now we hear on Thursday he's got an oblique injury. Hadn't thrown a pass in practice since then. How is he going to be? Well, thankfully, the special teams and defense kind of took care of him. I thought he looked great in the limited number of throws.
Well, Chris, so the offensive line for this Seattle Seahawks team, and this is kind of explaining why the San Francisco 49ers, because they were so beat up, they just could not hold up against the run. And when your guard and tackles and your centers can literally take other 300-pound men, pick them up and literally move them off the ball to where you're putting them in the laps of the linebackers, it's very hard to play defense that way. And so any single time that Sam Darnold turned around to put the ball in the belly of Kenneth Walker, the entire defense for the San Francisco 49ers had to react. Opened up play-action passing opportunities. So when you're not stopping a run in the middle of your defense, it exposes other parts of your defense.
Yeah, and you talked about the ground game where in that Week 18 win in Santa Clara, they ended up grounding out 180 yards. On this night, 175. So kudos to that offensive line and the running backs, even though Zach Charbonnet went down early with a leg injury. So we'll get word on that. As far as San Francisco, quickly, is it just a matter of too many injuries to overcome, too many blue-chip players, or is there something that this team has to do in the offseason in order to get back to playing in an NFC title game?
If you look at social media, somebody would say, move the electrical grid that's sitting right next to your, to your practice field. Hey, man, look, I'm just saying, it's out there. But being real, though, I would say that they have to stay healthy. We've seen this from Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is an excellent regular season coach. But for whatever reason, when we get to the playoffs, he's either always injured, something happens. And Chris, and I know I've said it before, I believe the reason why they did so much to go get Trey Lance was because of the skill set Trey Lance possessed. And now Trey Lance...
You're not going to put this on Brock Purdy.
No, I think Brock is fine. Brock processes well, all of that. But when you're down, elite players, you need a creator quarterback that's going to elevate above that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I don't know. I thought Brock Purdy played fine until the Ernest Jones interception. I thought he played well.
He did play fine.
Okay. But this was on much more than just Brock Purdy.
It is.
They didn't have Brandon Ayuk play a single snap.
We have seen Kyle Shanahan lose these ways before with injured team, quarterback not being able to overcome the injuries. And this is how it's looked. Okay. I'm just saying. We've seen it before,
Chris. Both sides, the winning team, Seattle, who will host.
What we saw in Seattle was more than just a win. It was a statement. The Seattle Seahawks played a remarkably complete, intensely physical, and incredibly smart game, led by a dominant defense that completely outsmarted one of the most highly respected offensive minds in the entire NFL. On the other side, the 49ers once again got bogged down by injuries, limitations, and the struggle to reinvent themselves in crucial moments. Playoffs are all about positioning, adjustments, depth, and Seattle delivered all of that at a high level. As the intense divisional weekend continues to unfold, one thing has already become abundantly clear to everyone. Any formidable opponent who truly wants to make it all the way to the Super Bowl will absolutely have to be prepared to face this relentless Seahawks team in every possible way imaginable.